ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Welcome to the professor's channel, Truth Be Told. It's been a while since I dropped a video, but today we are going to talk about the Haitian diaspora lawsuit against Donald Trump. Now, this has been sort of a media sensation for the last few weeks since the presidential debate back on September 12, I believe. Now, you will remember that Donald Trump is not a friend of Haiti. But I want to go back a little bit, and I want to show you a video back in 2016 when Donald Trump was running for president the first time. Some Haitian groups brought him to Little Haiti and Florida. And there you're going to see a video of him talking about how he wants to champion the cause of Haiti. Let's watch that video right now.
Really do something very special with our commonly shared values, because we have a lot of commonly shared values, maybe full shared values. I'm running to be president of all Americans. That's everybody. And whether you vote for me or you don't vote for me, I really want to be your greatest champion, and I will be your champion, whether you vote for me or not. My opponent calls those who don't support her deplorables. You've been hearing that. Deplorables. You're not deplorable. Oh, no way. Not this group. No way. I call those who don't support me American citizens, whether they like me or don't like me, and I will fight to change their minds and to earn their respect and to earn their vote. I'm running to represent Haitian Americans and African Americans and Asian Americans and everyone who lawfully resides in our borders. We're going to take care of people. We're going to take care of our people.
Okay, that video was in 2016 when Trump was running for president. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but there are 10,000 Haitians who actually live in Little Haiti who voted for Donald Trump, of course, resulting in Donald Trump winning Florida, therefore winning the presidential election in 2016. So obviously, when Donald Trump became president, the Haitian community thought that Donald Trump was going to be their champion, just like that they had hoped for, just like that he had said. But apparently, that's not what happened. Donald Trump became enemy number one for Haitians, called Haiti, a shithole country, called, in 2017, 2018, 2019. I'm sorry. Yeah, he called Haiti a shithole country. And of course, there was lawsuit brought because he wanted to end TPS for Haitians. So his animosity toward Haiti, toward Haitians, is very well known. Now, I want you guys to understand, because there's been a lot of misinformation about what's going on, how this controversy about Haitians eating cats and dogs. And I want to sort of go back, because, the professor always tells you the truth. I want to sort of go back to what happened. When President Biden became president, you know that there was a lot of issues in Haiti for the last 5 years, the gangs taking over. A lot of people are being killed. People are leaving the country. They're going to South America. They're trying to find a better, safer place for them and their family to live. The Biden administration started something called the humanitarian parole. Under the humanitarian parole, if you are a person in the United States, a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you can actually petition for somebody to come. Usually it happens within a few months. So there's been a lot of Haitians, 300,000 Haitians coming to the United States under the humanitarian parole. Now, Springfield, Ohio is a very small city with about, at the time, 55 to 60,000 people. But the economy had gone south in Springfield. People were leaving. Things were really bad. And even the little factories that left behind couldn't find people to work. So, in our Haitian community, how we do it. If we go somewhere, things are going well, we tend to call our friends and family and say, hey, why don't you come here? Things are going well. So Haitians starting to head towards Springfield because other Haitians who are living there were telling them okay, that things were good, they could find a job. So a lot of Haitians moved to Springfield, Ohio. The U.S. government did not pick up a whole bunch of Haitians and drop them there. That's not what happened. Other Haitians who were living in Springfield were telling their friends, come here, there are jobs. So that's how all this thing happened. So the Haitians moved there. Of course, it's a small town. A lot of Haitians moved there. The white people in the town start getting alarmed because obviously this is taxing the resources. We're talking about police, we're talking about school. Imagine that you have 50,000 people, you add another 15,000 on top of it. You don't have the extra money for the resources. People are going to have problems. So the people certainly were not very happy. Now, I have to tell you, some of it may have a little bit of racism in it, and some of it may have a little bit of reality. Because the reason I'm saying this is because when Russia invaded Ukraine, a lot of Ukrainians came to the United States. A lot of them have gone to community just like Springfield. Nobody were complaining about it. But nevertheless, that's really what the issue was about. Of course, Haitians, we know, don't eat cat, we don't eat dog. That's not part of our culinary culture. That's not what we do. So there were this issue in the community in Springfield, you know, the resources, what's available, and so on and so forth. But as we know, Haitians are hardworking people. They went to Springfield, they were working hard. The job that they get in the factory, the managers love Haitian. There's been a lot of different interviews with white managers talking about Haitian workers, how reliable they are, that they work hard, that they don't get involved in drugs. They come to work, they mind their own business, they do what they're supposed to do, which is very different from what these managers are used to in terms of, you know, people getting in drug and so on. Now, how did this issue about Haitians eating cats and dogs started? And I want to go back to sort of come back to show you what this lawsuit is about, HDPAC versus Donald Trump. What happened is there were two things that happened. First, there was a deranged woman who's not Haitian, Black American, who has some mental issue, who probably kill a cat and eat the cat raw. The woman was arrested, so on and so forth. Now, that woman isn't Haitian. People were saying that she's not Haitian. She's Black American. However, there was another rumor that started on Facebook where somebody said that they heard from a third party that somebody's cousin lost a cat and that some Haitian neighbors might have taken the cat. Come to see that obviously whoever lost the cat found the cat. The cat was in the basement of the lady. The cat was never killed. The cat was never eaten. Okay. Now, J.D. Vance, who's the vice president, running for vice president in the Republican ticket with Donald Trump, heard the story. Now, if you're running for vice president of the United States, you are sitting U.S. senator, you have the duty to check things out, to vet things before you start repeating it. So what J.D. Vance did, and actually before J.D. Vance started talking about this, J.D. Vance people called the city manager of Springfield, Ohio, to ask whether or not there's any truth to people, immigrant Haitian, eating people's cats and dogs. The city manager said, no, that's not true. Don't repeat it. So J.D. Vance knew before he started to talk about it, before he started telling Donald Trump and everybody else, that there's no truth to it. However, J.D. Trump repeated it. Donald Trump said it. Elon Musk of X repeated it and published it on his social media. So all of you, if you haven't heard that, you must have been under a rock, but this has been a sensation in social media. There's been some meme mixed out of they're eating the cats, they're eating the dog, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. I mean, you've seen it all on TikTok. So this is how it happened. Right after, and let me go back a little bit, September 12th, there was a presidential election, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And this is what Donald Trump said. Listen.
What's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
During the presidential debate. Now, that's not true. Donald Trump knew before he said it, that's not true. Now, we know Donald Trump is the biggest liar there is. There's nothing Donald Trump said there's any truth to it. Okay, absolutely nothing. The man is a liar. He's been a liar. I don't think Donald Trump lives in a different reality. Let's put it this way. So he said this. Now, I want you to understand what Donald Trump said at the time. 67 million people around the world watching the presidential debate. Right after he said it, the city of Springfield denounced it, saying it's not true. But Donald Trump continued to repeat the same thing. J.D. Vance continued to repeat the same thing. In fact, J.D. Vance went on Fox News, and he said this, that if I had to make this up, I would make it so that people pay attention. This is what J.D. Vance said.
Media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I start talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast.
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not.
Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
Okay, so you heard what J.D. Vance said, right? So they all knew that this was not true. However, they keep repeating it, they keep saying it because politically it might help them. Now, what does this do to Haitians who live in Springfield? As you know, there's been bomb threats, there's been people calling, harassing Haitian kids in school, have been harassed, have been bullied. And this is not just in Springfield, Ohio. This happened in Indiana, in California, in New York, in Minneapolis. There's been different cities in Florida where Haitian Americans, Haitian migrants, Haitian immigrants have been harassed. I mean, friends of mine, people that I know aren't Haitians, are calling me and asking me whether it's true that Haitian eat cats and dogs. I mean, which I laugh about it because that's not true. So, and Donald Trump continued to repeat it. J.D. Vance, the state attorney of Ohio, Mr. Frost, continued to repeat the same debunked lies. And what happened when you are repeating something that you've been told it's not true? Now, we're not talking about mistake anymore. We're talking about an intent to defame, to subject people to ridicule, to subject people to harm. And you know that there's been threat to a lot of Haitians that live there. So this hasn't been good for the Haitian community, for Haitian migrants, for people of Haitian descent. One of our colleagues who was Haitian was attacked in California because she was wearing a Haitian flag. A man threw a cup of coffee in her face saying, F you, Haitian eating cats and dog MF. So this hasn't been good. Now, what are our recourse? What do we do when our community is under attack? We know that there's an organization in California who started a criminal inquiry about Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. I'm not going to go into that, give you the detail of it. I think a lot of people have talked about it. But I don't know whether that criminal case, is going anywhere. So we'll see what happened, whether the judge approved the filing of criminal charges against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. But that's an under Ohio statute that allows a private person to commence a criminal action against a person whom they believe committed a crime. Okay, that's separate. Now, let's talk, for example, about HDPAC. What's going on with the lawsuit, HDPAC versus Donald Trump? What is HDPAC? And I'm going to tell you. HDPAC is the Haitian Diaspora Political Action Committee. I am one of the founding members of this organization. HDPAC is a 527 non-partisan organization. What it means is it's a political action committee whose job it is to represent the political interests of the Haitian community. They're not aligned to Democrat or Republican. It's really a non-partisan, independent organization whose job it is to defend the political interests of Haitian American, and by association, of course, Haiti. So I have been part of the organization myself. We have decided in the organization to bring a lawsuit against Donald Trump. And the lawsuit is entitled HDPAC versus Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is not the only defendant. Donald Trump Jr. is a defendant. J.D. Vance is a defendant. The State Attorney General of Ohio is a defendant because he repeated the lies even after he was told that it's not true. Moreno, who's running, I think, for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, who repeated it, a conservative, is also a defendant. Now, this is a $550 million lawsuit because we believe that the Haitian community has been irreparably harmed by the accusations of Haitians consuming people's pets, people's dogs and cats. And that type of reputational damage cannot be undone no matter how much money you give. Now, you remember that there were times in the 1990s when I was in college, we were saying Haitian were AIDS people, and it took a while to get rid of that. So now, with this new thing going on now, kids are being harassed, there's still continuing damage, and Donald Trump is not going to stop to say this because he doesn't understand the difference between the truth and the lie. So this lawsuit was filed by a law firm in Miami upon our request, HDPAC request, to file this lawsuit. And this lawsuit is a very serious lawsuit. It is a number of claims in the lawsuit. But one of them is a conspiracy to violate civil rights, defamation per se, aiding and abetting violence, because when you said a group of people are consuming people's cats and dogs, and you knew that's not true, and you continue to repeat it, not you making an excuse saying, look, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, but you continue to repeat it even after you were told that's not true. So there's no questions. And I know some of you saying, well, don't we have a First Amendment right to free speech? Yes, there is in our U.S. Constitution a First Amendment right to free speech, but there are exceptions. Defamatory statements are not protected speech. When you lie, you say something that you know is not true, it's not protected speech at all. So there is a fairly decent case where HDPAC could prove that there were malice aforethought, that what Donald Trump said, what J.D. Vance says, they said it not just for political reason, but they said it to damage the reputations of Haitian migrant and Haitian community. And quite frankly, we can show that there's been a history, at least when it comes to Donald Trump, of animus toward the Haitian community. And that started back in 2017, right after he took office. And there's been a case in the federal court in the Eastern District of New York where the judge held that some of the policies that Donald Trump made was basically motivated by animosity towards Haitian, for example, ending of TPS. So we can establish that. And the lawsuit basically outline past hate speech from Donald Trump and his administration. Now, I'm hoping that Donald Trump does not win, and I'm hoping that all the Haitians in Florida who could vote, not only register to vote, but actually vote against Donald Trump. We cannot have Donald Trump as president. Now, that's my wish. Now, if Donald Trump becomes president, we know that HDPAC will be in court all over the country fighting his racist policies, and we are ready to do that. But we also need your support. For example, if you're Haitian American, and you don't have to be Haitian, anyone who's watching this video who wants to be part of HDPAC, who want to support what we're doing, you can go to this website, which we're going to show you, hdpac.org, and register. It's very, very easy. As you can see, you click, you put your name, your address, your telephone number, and so on and so forth. You register, you become a member. So that way, the more members we have, the better it is for us. We have a lot of members all around the country. So let me quickly tell you how this organization is organized. HDPAC, as I said, is a political action committee. We have state directors in New York, in Florida, and Ohio, Indiana, Texas, Massachusetts, New Jersey. And those directors. They are there to sort of take the temperature of what's going on. For example, our director in Ohio is the one who's been talking to us about what's going on in Springfield. She's been working there for the last 5 years. She's been representing the Haitian community there. So we've been doing a lot of work quietly so that we can represent the interests of the Haitian people. Now, this lawsuit was filed on September 27, Friday. And there will be a judge assigned. In my next video, I'm waiting for the judge to be assigned to see who is assigned to the case. And then in my next video, we are going to talk about it because this is a very interesting case. And there are so many components of it that I want to talk to you about. I think it's an opportunity for an education about organizations suing on behalf of their membership, because HDPAC is a Haitian organization. If you are Haitian, Haitian American, Haitian migrant, you are automatically a member. Registered or not, you are a member. That's how the organization is set. So the organization can represent the interests of the Haitian migrant. So I don't want to make this video too long. I sort of wanted to give you a little historical background on the lawsuit HDPAC versus Donald Trump, so you understand what's going on. But in my next video, we're going to get deep into the lawsuit. We're going to talk a little bit about whoever is assigned, whatever judge is assigned. We're going to talk a little bit about that judge, and so that you guys know what's going on. But keep watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel, and we're going to go through this together. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.